G'day cobbers, and welcome back to Beatley Tony's Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video, and I hope you're all doing well. Well, it's been rumoured for a few days, but it is a rumour, no more. It is now official breaking news that Paul will be playing some live gigs in Australia during October and November this year. And, you know, as usual, the announcement of a Paul tour this late in his career will be greeted with the usual negativity about the shape of his voice, the price of the tickets, the price of the merch, the fact that the set will be very Beatles heavy and very similar to the tour that he did on the first leg of the Got Back tour last year. And all those things are true. He probably will tweak the set a little bit and put in, you know, 3 or 4 different songs. But that is pretty much, you know, the state of play, how things are. We know his voice isn't great anymore. But, you know, to be fair, Paul, when you look back at the Got Back tour, the first leg, you know, he started off that tour very poorly. His voice was not in great shape after lockdown, but as the tour went on, it improved, and by the time he sort of got to New York, New Jersey, he was singing pretty well. By the time he got to Glastonbury, he took us all by surprise by how well he sang at that gig in front of his home audience, and just gave a absolutely fantastic show. So, you know, I'm going to say to you, if you are in Australia and you fancy going to see it, don't let the negativity put you off. Go and see him. If you want to go and see him, you go and see him. And especially if you've never seen Paul live before, because, you know, let's be honest here, this could be your last opportunity. He doesn't get to Australia that often, and this could be your last chance to see Paul live. Now, what I will say about Paul's gigs is, you know, despite his you know, the problems that he's got with his voice these days, you know, due to his age, you know, there's nothing wrong with his bass playing, there's nothing wrong with his guitar playing, there's nothing wrong with his piano playing, and, you know, he's got this fantastic band. And, you know, one thing you can be guaranteed from going to see a Paul gig is you are going to get 3 hours of, you know, songs that you love, where Paul is just going to give it everything he's got. You know, I've been to 22 shows, either Wings or Paul solo. I've never walked away from a McCartney gig disappointed. So, you know, if you are, you know, sort of thinking about going, I'd really encourage you to, you know, go and see Paul in Australia, because, as I say, it could be your last chance. So now, the tour. There are 6 dates. So I'll just go through them now. So 18th of October, he plays the Entertainment Centre in Adelaide. 21st of October, he is at the Marvel Stadium in Melbourne. On the 24th of October, he is at the McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. That's a venue he's never played before. On the 27th of October, he's at the Allianz Stadium in Sydney. On the 1st of November, he moves to the Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. And on the 4th of November, he is playing the Gold Coast for the first time, and he plays the Heritage Bank Stadium there. I'm gutted he's not playing in Perth, because I can just see it now. Macca plays the Wacker. A perfect headline, a missed opportunity, but Paul's not going to Perth this time. Now, the question is, if you do want to go and see Paul, you are in Australia, how do you go about getting tickets? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you that as well. So there is going to be a pre-sale on the 9th of August. Now, how you get onto that pre-sale, you need to be signed up to the mailing list at paulmccartney.com. When you sign up, you'll be given a password which will allow you into the room where you will be able to buy the tickets on the pre-sale date. There are other ways of getting tickets as well. If you are a Telstra or Frontier customer, they are also having a pre-sale sale, And the Telstra one is the important one because that takes place on the 3rd of August, which is only 2 days away. So if you are a customer, you've got a chance of getting tickets there during their pre-sale. Now, I haven't got all the details of those pre-sales, but if you go over to paulmccartney.com, you will be able to see the details. Now, for the paulmccartney.com pre-sale, what they've done is they've staggered the times for the pre-sale, depending on which venue you are going for. So I'll just read those to you. So if you want to go to the Sydney gig, the pre-sale is at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. For Brisbane, it's 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. For Adelaide, it's 2:30 p.m. Australian Central Time. For Newcastle, it's 3 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. The Gold Coast and Melbourne, it's 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. Now, if all this is a lot of information to take in one video, you can go over to paulmccartney.com and read it at your leisure, so you know what you're doing on the day. So that's the thing. Now, as I say, this is the second leg of the Got Back tour, so it's still called the Got Back tour. There are other venues being mooted for this leg of the tour, but not official yet. Those being New Zealand, Mexico, Brazil, and Colombia, and even Japan are being thought of for gigs as part of this leg of the tour, but nothing announced yet. As usual, there is nothing for us here in the UK. You know, I did think because he was playing in November in Australia, I thought maybe he might come to the UK in December, because that's when he likes to tour the UK. He normally plays sort of the first half of December in the UK when he's on a tour, and then he goes off to Liverpool for Christmas sort of after that. But no news for the UK dates at all. As usual, we are the poor relations of Beatles fans. You know, he always seems to think of us last. So nothing for the UK at the moment. Now, another negative aspect to this tour that I know that people will pick up on is they'll say, oh, he's going out on the road again, which means there's not going to be a new studio album. And that is probably true, but you know, we never know. You know, we should know by now that Paul likes to surprise us. You know, we know what we're always expecting. You know, there's going to be an archive, there's going to be an archive, there's going to be an archive, and we don't see an archive, but we get things that we weren't expecting, like, you know, the McCartney 1, 2, 3 box, or the singles crate, or, you know, the book, the Eyes of the Storm. Those were things that we weren't expecting, and they just got announced just, you know, out of the blue. So who's to say, just because we don't know about it, you know, Paul hasn't secretly been, you know, recording tracks in the studio for a new album, and maybe there is going to be a new album to support this second leg of the tour. You know, I don't think there is, but it's possible. You know, bearing in mind Paul's track record, you know, he could surprise us with this, and there could be an album, a new album coming out towards the back end of the year to support this tour. Just because he's doing a tour, that doesn't mean that there is a new album, because, you know, he's done plenty of tours where he hasn't had a new album to promote. But, you know, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. It's always good to be optimistic, although when you are optimistic, sometimes it ends in disappointment, I suppose. But that is pretty much all I've got to tell you on this. So, you know, if you want to see all the details sort of written down, you can go to paulmccartney.com and read them. I've just done this video to save you the job, but if you want to see it all laid out in front of you, that's the place to go. Okay, so I think that is it from me. If you are in Australia and you are thinking about getting the tickets, I wish you the very best of luck in getting the tickets. Oh, I should say there is also on the website, there is a general sale listed for the 11th of August. Forget it. I don't think that there'll be any tickets left, and if they are, they'll be right up in, you know, the nosebleed seats. So you know, try and get on the pre-sale if you can, because I think that the tickets for all these shows will sell out very, very quickly on the pre-sale. So don't leave it for the general sale. Get yourself signed up to be able to get into that pre-sale room when the tickets go on sale. Okay, so yeah, if you are trying to get tickets, the very best of luck. I hope you are successful. Do let me know down in the comments. I know I've got some Australian and New Zealand viewers on the channel, so if you're going to try and get tickets for this, please let me know down in the comments. Okay, that is it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been useful, and I will see you all very soon. Bye bye.